D&D number 10, Circle of Life, Part 2. Well, Circle of Life in Jesus' Name, Part 2. This is chapter 36. Actually, I probably should have titled this the Epilogue because it's very short and it's the very end of the book, which is very sad, but book 11 will pick up right after this book. So, just a few hours later. So here's chapter 36 / Epilogue. Why did I call it chapter 36 instead of epilogue? Because sometimes if you say epilogue, people don't bother to read it. Isn't that silly? Question mark. Okay. Chapter 36, October 22nd, early Tuesday morning, South Keno Estate, Crystal Cove, California. Jordan awoke to the sound of 3, grunting or moaning or something. She turned over to look at him. He was lying on his back. The gray light of dawn shone on his face. He was obviously under stress. His brow furrowed, his head tossing. She was a little afraid to wake him, but he sounded so pitiful. She decided to brave her fears. She reached up and touched his face gently. 3? She whispered softly. Hey, it's okay. She stroked his forehead. Shh, it's okay. His eyes blinked open. He was breathing hard like he'd been running. He drew a deep breath, blew it out, and turned his head to look at her. Wow, I had a dream. She nodded. I figured that was what was happening. I woke you up? Yes. And then you woke me up? Yes. He smiled, thinking of the time she'd come in his room and he was so deep asleep in a dream that he pretty much attacked her in his sleep. Were you afraid to wake me up? She smiled. Yes. He frowned. I don't like that you're afraid of me. Well, I'm not afraid of you, the regular you, but I'm afraid of waking you up when you're having a bad dream. What were you dreaming? He frowned. I don't think I want to talk about it. She remembered Grandmaster Keno told her to get him to talk about his feelings as much as possible. So, you don't trust me? He turned onto his side and brushed his hand over her face. What is that supposed to mean? Well, it means I'm thinking you don't trust me enough to tell me what you're feeling or what you're thinking. I see. Okay. Well, I'm not sure what I'm feeling or thinking. Maybe just reliving the horror of killing someone. I actually don't remember most of the dream. It seemed to be disjointed, just different scenes. Pretty much, I think I was in the gold mine. I saw Josie. Then I was slitting that guy's throat, but in reality, I killed that guy before I found Josie. And then I was stabbing Peter Perez in the chest. Not just once, but over and over, and he kept coming back to life. Wow, that is a nightmare. She shuddered as she imagined it. And now you have those images running around in your brain. I don't think I need to share any more graphic dreams or memories with you for your own protection. And I'm going to tell Granddad to call you off. When she didn't argue, he knew it was the right thing to do. He wrapped his arm around her and pulled her close and nuzzled her cheek. She sighed. This is nice. Normally, I'd be on my way to softball practice. He frowned. Are you going back tomorrow? Yeah, I guess now that you're back safe and sound, I don't have any more excuses. It's weird. I don't usually have any problem taking care of my daily business, but all I want to do is be with you. Guess I'm getting lazy. It's not laziness. It's actually a part of shock and mourning. It's easy to fall into that. You've probably heard that when you're mourning someone's death or something, when you're simply depressed, it's hard to even do the simplest of things like eat or take a shower or drink a glass of water. Yeah, that's how I was yesterday morning when JoJo made me get up and go take a shower. I was also like that way back when all that happened with Peter. I couldn't do anything, which is why I missed a year of school. He nodded. Right. And really, if we're being fair, that was a little bit of what Peter was going through when he lost his job. I mean, I don't know how hard he tried to find another job, but if he tried and got turned down, depression probably set in. He might have been afraid. How is he going to support his family? What is he going to do? And then your mom had to start working extra jobs, and he probably was feeling less of a man. But his mistake was that he used alcohol to try to make the bad feelings go away. Once you start drinking, the demons start telling you that you're no good. You're a rotten human being, and you start to believe that and begin to act that out. And how do you know so much about it? He smiled. I had to do a high school project on the ills of drinking. I got most of my information from Granddad, but I also did a lot of research. Anyway, I'm back, and Josie's back, and we're all okay, and you no longer have to live in fear, and so everything is good, and you can go back to school tomorrow and give your all at practice and in class. She nodded. Eric turned when his phone dinged, and he grabbed it up and looked at it, then turned back to her. A message? She asked. No, a calendar reminder. Of what? I'm supposed to meet with Nick Sutter today at 3. Who's Nick Sutter? He's the homeless guy I was going to try to help. Oh, so are you still going to meet with him? He nodded. Of course. The press conference is at noon. I should be able to make it with no problem. Your dad said you need to rest. I understand, but how much damage would it do to Nick if I say I'm going to help him and then I don't show? Yes, but what if you hadn't made it back by today? His brow furrowed. Why ask a question like that? I am back, and thank goodness I can still meet with Nick. She nodded. So, what time do you have to leave for the press conference? We. You're coming with me. You're part of this family. Your sister was also taken, and it was the man, Peter Perez, who was supposed to act like your father who did all of it. And I strongly believe that you should be there with me, by my side, if you'll come. She blew out a breath. Okay, I guess that's fair, but why do you have to do a press conference anyway? Oh, we don't have to. It's just a good PR. It's just good PR. A lot of people are concerned for what was happening. A lot of those people prayed for our family and for yours too. And there is a lot of misinformation out there as usual, so it's good to make a statement, answer questions, and set everybody straight on what went down. And of course, since the people of our state and maybe of our country have their eyes on us right now, it's a good time to get a good Christian example and maybe spread the word a bit. Every opportunity to do that should be taken. She smiled. You and your family. You never cease to amaze me. Our family? You are part of this family, Jordan. Am I really? Just because I'm your girlfriend? You're not just my girlfriend. But let's not get into that right now. Let's get up, take a shower, have a prayer together, eat some breakfast, and say hello to my family. Okay. But I have just one more question. Okay, what? What does one wear to a press conference? He laughed. And that is the end of book number 10, Circle of Life in Jesus' Name, Part 2. Coming up is book 11, D&D number 11, Circle of Life in Jesus' Name, Part 3. And it picks up just a few hours after this, I believe, at the press conference. So I'll see you there.